welcome to Daily News. I'm Mindy Murray, and today we're going to be talking about euthanasia. And why is this so controversial? And how does this tie into everyday ethics? I know what you're thinking. What is euthanasia? Well, euthanasia is defined as the intentional killing of a patient at his own voluntary request, often the administration by a lethal dose of medication done by a doctor. So, why is this so controversial? Well, some may say that euthanasia is an assisted suicide done by a doctor, while others may say that this is their own right, their own decision to make as an own person. Several studies have been done about euthanasia and how this can be considered as a free choice option. In the article, Dying Cancer Patients' Own Opinions on Euthanasia, scientists did studies and tests of 2 cancer patients that were dying from cancer on whether they would choose euthanasia or if they wouldn't choose euthanasia. Here are some percentages that they found. So, 29% of the patients were pro-euthanasia, while others were opposed, which was about 20%. While the majority of the patients, about 51%, were undecided. These patients weren't sure if they would or if they wouldn't choose euthanasia because this is such a big decision. Basically, it's almost like you're killing yourself, so they were really sure if they would want to kill themselves. Authors Milberg, Strang, and Carlson talked about the topic of autonomy and how this relates to the controversial idea of euthanasia. Autonomy is the right to self-government, which gives a person the right to free choice, which then ties into the 51% of the people that were so undecided about whether they should or they shouldn't use euthanasia. This becomes so controversial because autonomy gives the person their right to do what they choose. So having this choice of autonomy makes the decision so undecidable because some people may not be sure of what they want to do, especially being in such a medical state where they even have the choice to use euthanasia. Someone's autonomy is related to what they think is ethical and what they don't think is ethical. Ethics is a moral principle that governs how somebody behaves. So if one person doesn't think it's ethical to be killing themselves because of their medical problems, then they wouldn't really participate in euthanasia. Authors Johnson, Siegler, and Winslade talk about how ethical decisions in clinical medicine and how this relates to ethics as well as autonomy. So basically, what they were trying to say is how some people think it's unethical in medicine to use euthanasia because medicine is about curing, diagnosing, and prevention of illnesses. So the use of euthanasia isn't ethical to medicine because it's kind of just like a free getaway card. Somebody's just quitting and not really using their medicine right to really cure the patient and help them through their tough time. So, euthanasia, ethics, autonomy, these are a lot of things that tie together just to give somebody the right to free choice of whether they should be or shouldn't be using euthanasia. What do you guys think? Does somebody have the free choice whether they should or shouldn't use euthanasia? Well, we took it to ourselves to go out to the public and ask people what they really think about euthanasia. Tradition Medical Center asking people about their thoughts on euthanasia. We're here at Tradition Medical Center asking Ches Goodman about his thoughts on euthanasia. Ches, do you know anything about euthanasia?
Yeah, I know a little bit. Not much though. Just I know that it's a type of shot that some people take, and if they want to, it kills them.
Do you think euthanasia should be legal or illegal?
I think it should be legal because I think patients should have a free choice in what they're going through. I feel like someone shouldn't control someone if they feel strongly about something.
If you yourself were in a situation where euthanasia was an option, would you choose for it or against it?
There's a lot of factors that go into making that decision. It's a very serious decision, and honestly, I don't think I would, but there's definitely a lot of factors that play into it.
Okay, Ches, thank you for your time.
We're here today with Jared Baxter. We're asking him a few questions, if that's okay with you.
No, that's fine.
we'll be asking you about euthanasia. And we'll start off with, what do you think euthanasia is?
Well, I think that euthanasia is the process of killing a patient, like painlessly.
Okay, so by definition, euthanasia is painlessly killing a patient who is suffering from a disease that is incurable or they're in irreversible coma. In the case of irreversible coma, it's based on family members and if they all agree. In a lot of countries around the world, they made euthanasia illegal. Do you think it should be illegal?
I think it should be legal because the process, if someone's dying, and they're in pain, and they're going throughout the day by day in pain, I think they should have a decision to put them, like, to die or be put to rest. Just to, like, stop going through day and day with pain.
All right. If you were in a situation where one of your family members was dying from an incurable disease, or if they were in a coma, what would you do?
I mean, it's a hard question to answer. You never want a family member to, like, go through any type of pain, so it's hard to answer that question. I know different values, people have different values, and me personally, I'd want to put my family member to rest because I wouldn't want to see them go through pain day by day. But other people could see that as ending a life, and that could be cruel, which I do agree, but I do feel like you can't put someone through pain.
That's a great answer. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
So we're back, and this time we're with Aaron. We're just on a roll today with people. And we're going to be on the same topic of euthanasia. So what do you think euthanasia is?
Well, isn't it like, I don't really know for sure what it is, but I'm just going to assume it's like painlessly killing a patient who has like an incurable disease or something like that.
Nailed it.
Oh, okay.
So in a few countries across the world, they have made euthanization illegal. What do you think? Should it be illegal or should it be legal?
Honestly, I don't really know, because I think it really depends on, like, it's up to the family of the patient, it's up to the patient, so I really don't think it should be illegal, or it should be legal. I don't know, I think it's just up to the family to decide, so I don't know if that answers your question, but...
That's fine, it's just your opinion on things.
Yeah.
If you were in this scenario where a family member had the option of getting euthanized, what would you do? What would you be thinking?
I think we would have a very long talk with my family member and seeing if they feel like going on with life with this disease, or if they feel like, you know what, no, I think it's just best if we do this. So really just hearing what my family member has to say about it, and then obviously I don't want them in pain, so I believe I would do it, but it's really just their opinion, and I would always like second guess their opinion, second it or whatever. So yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate your time.
Welcome.
Hope you have a good day.
Thank you.
We'll see you later. We're back at it again with our third person today. I don't know how we're getting this lucky, but we're with Ayana, right?
Yes.
So once again, same topic, euthanasia. And what do you think euthanasia is?
I would like to think, I don't know for sure, but I feel like it's like the process of, I don't want to say killing, but the process of putting down a patient who has little to no chances or they're suffering from an incurable disease.
Nice. Everyone's just nailing it today. I don't know what's up. So in a few countries across the world, they have made euthanasia illegal.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, should it be illegal or legal in the United States?
I feel like it should be legal depending on the patient and their family.
Okay. If you were put in a situation where a family member had the option of being euthanized, what would you be thinking, or like what's going through your head?
Well, I mean, it's a lot to take in, considering the fact that that's a family member that you can possibly lose like, permanently. But I would like to think that although I would want the person to be there, I could find it within myself and like my family, the betterment of that person. So like, if they can't be cured, like if it's like a little to no deal, then I feel like once I consult with the family and all that, I feel like it should be a decision that should be made ultimately on what the patient thinks.
Very nice answer. I appreciate your time, everyone. I hope you have a nice day. That's all from me.
Thanks for tuning into today's Daily News. We hope you enjoyed about our controversial topic of euthanasia and how this is tied into everybody's autonomy and how that relates to somebody's ethics, which all in all refers to people's free choice. See you next time here on Daily News.